the president is as concerned as all of us are, because this is practically the entire welfare of the Zambian people. Now, without making reference to the specifics of what might or might not happen to fuel and electricity tariffs, think of it like this. Namukwate chironda namukwate chironda petanda na chikashika nomba vila chikashike panchi chilebola. Okay, you have a choice. You can buy an off-the-shelf cream mwasuwapo pachironda padepo chikashike chachita kwa chani chauma lero kulio kubola panchi kulia. Have you sorted it out? No, you haven't. So there will be a point in time when you have to have an honest conversation that now chironda na chikashika lero panchi palia parichirenga chibefu parichirebona. So in order for us to push chironda wino, we may have to undergo a surgical procedure. Of course, a surgical procedure is more complex and undesirable and more painful. Lero doctor mwina ala kwebati ilero nde kulepula, I will put you under anesthesia. Pakwati limbi didande kulepula wala umfobu kadi, but not sana, but it's necessary. Na liati nenga nale pula emilopa no kufumashala afuma limbi for the next few days or weeks no kwenda tawa kulaenda. But after that, chalambo pure to alachitashani. Mushama lights to alachitashani. Because we all understand. Ine fino dio nsenga bwacha. Balan tumina wa mayo ati amalaiti yapo. Infuilo kushita. Right? So amalaiti nga yapa mono. Na now ine ngala mfobu kali. The president has relatives in the villages. Now women, he has to help them. Once we are all connected as Zambians. So the pain which someone who is Chavuma is feeling because the price of fuel and electricity has gone up is the pain we all are going to feel. This is what I mean. The president feels your pain because he looks at these things as a Zambian. He puts himself in the shoes of Badia. So the president understands the apprehension of the Zambian people. He understands that apprehension. This is why you elected him. This is why you've allowed some of us to work with him, so that we can sit at a table and say, Bane, Abena Zambia, efubale umfwa nifi. Amafia tukwete nyaya. Tuala puisha shani ubu wafi. Sometimes it's going to be easier. Sometimes it's going to be a whole lot difficult and painful. But we've committed to ourselves, and the president has committed. At every turn, we will tell the truth to the Zambian people. We explain to the Zambian people. The possible side effects are this, that, and that for the next 2 weeks, 2 months.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are plans to get to bump up the prices as far as fuel is concerned and electricity tariffs. So what does this mean for Zambia? Are we going to see a surge in the prices of a lot of different, commodities, services, because everything is going to go up. Once fuel valunda, everything does end up going, the prices sort of increase. This is just the natural, chain reaction of the increment of electricity and fuel. So my name is Mnalam Nalula. Welcome to Z Corner. We are your community TV station. And of course, we are going to be talking about a lot of different stories, because we are receiving information that Bowman Lusambo's application has been objected by the state, And then a lot of people are beginning to question the number of promises that President Hichilema made during his opposition times. Did he overpromise? And how can you rate the governance of the UPND in the past 100 days? Are you satisfied? So please let me know. Please also let me know where you are watching us from. Ngamudi kumafialo, ngamudi in whatever part of Zambia. Please let me know. Represent your city. And as always, kindly share this video right now on your timeline and in 5 different Facebook pages. So while I wait for you to share the video right now, let me just, play something. Yeah, I didn't mean to play that. Yeah, this is what I meant to play. So I just want to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know, how do you feel with regards to how things are being run, and where do you think we are headed? Oh, by the way, the rest of the stories that we're going to talk about are obviously the fact that the former Petauke DC has just been arrested because she was, she was aiding in the issuance of NRCs to minors. So remember those times we were saying, NRCs? Well, that was actually factual. And this is one of the reasons why the former Petauke DC was arrested. So, Ama years younger, and how can we prevent this from happening in the future? And then we are also going to be listening to Amos Chanda, because he's going to be highlighting the reasons why he resigned and why he was, seeing a lot of discrepancies with regards to how the Patriotic Front was ruling Zambia. So later it's going to be jam-packed. And as usual, if you want to be part of this particular live stream, kindly check out the pinned comment. That's where the link to the StreamYard, connection is between you and I. So if you just want to, pop up and just give your opinion, kindly use that link, because a lot of you are going to be saying, it requires a link. Guys, you already know the drill. The link is always pinned in the comment section below. So I really hope once I'm to share a video, because we are going to be doing a whole lot today. So I'm going to be waiting for my usual panelists and to all the would-be panelists to join the link. So in the meantime, let's listen to Mr. Mwewa, Mr. Simon Chitambala Mwewa, and he's going to be giving us his opinion.
Hey, could we talk about this word for a moment? Gestation. This is how you say it. This is how you spell it. Now, the word gestation means the period of time between conception and birth. That period in between there, it's about 280 days, roughly 40 weeks, about 9 months, from the time a woman conceives to the time that she gives birth. That period takes a while. Nothing happens like that. In the same vein, by the same token, I hear so many of you complaining and moaning and talking about how, 887 hasn't delivered. He said so many things. The UPND said this, that, and the other, and they haven't delivered. Folks, relax. Gestation. It takes a while. It takes a while. What you guys are looking for is instant gratification. It doesn't happen that way. Guys, you can traverse this planet. You can go anywhere on earth, whether it's in Shangombo or Memphis, Tennessee, whether it's in Kwakasomokuchinsali or Salt Lake City, Utah. You will never find a perfect administration that dots every I and crosses every T. It takes a while. It takes a process. Do you know why we have elections, especially in this country, in particular Zambia? We have elections every 5 years. It's because from the time you're elected to the time that you get to the next election cycle, we as a people have an opportunity to grade you. The UPND, 887 and his homeboys have only been in administration for 4 months. And here you are moaning. Here you are talking about, he hasn't delivered. Oh, we're going to die because, oh, he hadn't delivered. He hasn't delivered, and let's just do away with him. Let's forget he shouldn't even be president. Ridiculous, guys. Give the guy a chance. Goodness.
Oh man, you gotta love Mr. Mwewa. I really love, and I didn't even watch the whole part. I'm just seeing it like with you right now. So that was very theatrical. So what do you think about Mr. Mwewa's explanation? Gestation period D. So the people of Zambia want to know, when are we going to have those cheap electricity tariffs? When are we going to have those cheap fuel prices, which are going to in turn reduce the prices of a lot of different goods? Because fuel ngabalunda no bwari balalunda salad mweme not cooking oil, but we call it salad because of otwakola just like that fyonse balalunda. Because not so long ago, during opposition times, ama explanations, we've got this proper formula. Why C? Where? Why income? the cover's a big game. So anyway, just like Mr. Mwewa said, of course, they need a little bit of time. And it's understandable. And Zambians are quite understanding. We know when to give some people some chance. So I can see some people joining through. Mr. Mwamba, how come your background is dark? I'm a light here. Nah. All right, so you need to turn on your video. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to be joining us, kindly turn on your video because it helps the stream. It really helps us. So I can see some people rolling through. Mr. Oscar. Hey, Italian Mafia. Hello, boss. How are you, sir? Good evening. How are you doing? Oh, okay, Mr. Pombo has frozen. So in the meantime, I can see some more people rolling through. I can see Camilo. So let me also play you another video before we continue, because I just want to get these videos out of the way. Because when we start rolling, hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. Yesterday you were missing in action. What happened? A lot of people were saying, "But the question about brother Oscar, by Italian mafia, 3-5 my pizza." You've promised a lot of people pizza in Zambia, the real authentic pizza. Are you there, Mr. Pombo? All right. So in the meantime, we're also going to play this one. Hold on, Brother Oscar. We're going to continue the conversation. Let me just play this in the meantime.
That's it. I'm done. I was exhausted with the internal toxic environment that I could no longer tolerate. I had fundamental disagreements on a number of issues, which I thought was personal. In the line of collective responsibility, I think what I did was a decent thing. In my resignation, you all heard in the Q&A, I said, if a moment occurs when any of the subordinates of the president come to a conclusion that you are impeding his success, a decent thing is for you to leave. I also called upon those I thought should have actually resigned earlier than me, that I think the reasons for which I resigned were not even worth resigning for, because I believe there were people who should not have been around the president for the good reputation of the president. I called upon such people to resign. They did not. Partially, it all ended in tears on August 12, I think. So I had fundamental disagreements on a number of issues. I had concerns that the presence of government in private lives, I don't agree with that. I had concerns about the manner in which we were proceeding to take over KCM. I agreed that KCM needed to be taken over because there was rampant abuse by the Indian owners of that mine. There was pollution, there was absolute cheating, there was an abrogation of the entire development agreement that they had with the Zambian government. I totally agreed that there was a need for an intervention of sorts. I did not agree that the intervention we made was a correct one.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the fundamental disagreements I had. A week into my disagreement, I saw public money being put into KCM. How do you put money in a company that is under liquidation? My view was that this company must be put under receivership or business rescue arrangement. To liquidate a company means that you go in, liquidate the assets, and pay those people that the company owns. That was very fundamental. That also was a result of my strong belief in the minimal intervention of government in the private sector. The reasons for which KCM was taken over were legitimate. I would defend them even today, but I did not agree that the liquidation of KCM was the right thing. Because if we follow the liquidation law in the sense that it is done, you've got to shut down a company of that magnitude, send 10,000 workers on the street, multiply that maybe by 50,000, you're going to have chaos on the copper belt. You're going to have social disorder. Because liquidation, we know where is Zambia was. So if it's liquidation, that's the only route, is to liquidate the assets, sell them off, and pay creditors. That is very sentimental to me. My first career was in ZCCM Changa division itself. Mm-hmm. I was going to be a metallurgist. That was the first call. I couldn't. My mom opposed that. She thought the mining industry was going down. Later on, I was called in as a staff learner. I had an idea about KCM itself, that particular, and I grew up on the copper belt. I came to college and university, so I have organic knowledge of what Chingola is. So I could visualize what would happen if that's a company is liquidated. What we saw actually was not a liquidation, but a receivership of business rescue management. The liquidator is essentially the managing director of that company. Mm-hmm. I'll limit my comments because I'm aware also that the matter is in court. But what I have said are fundamental broad principles upon which, because I'm saying this because of the many lies that people keep repeating, and I must take this opportunity to say I did not receive a single cent from the owners of Vedan. I'm very shocked that they have kept this illegitimate silence about the thing as fundamental as that. Mm-hmm. People in the know, those who are managing KCM went about recklessly saying that I was paid $3 million to oppose the liquidation. I actually opposed the meeting between Mr. Ago and the president because I said 3 days after the president is on the tarmac in Ndola, makes an announcement that we are taking over, why should he be meeting the people from whom the mine is being taken over? I oppose that in writing, and the records are there.
Okay, so basically we are done with the videos for today, so we can move on to the discussion. So Brother Oscar, welcome to the show. You're having a lot of network issues in the past few days. What's happening? Why are you having unreliable internet in Italy? Hello, Brother Oscar. All right, it seems, Brother Oscar.
Hello.
Hi, what's happening with your internet?
Maybe the problem is on. Hello. Good evening. I thought it was on from the other side. Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice?
We can hear you, but the internet is your internet, to be precise. My end is good. All right, okay. So let me give you a switch your network. In the meantime, let's add Mr. Sakwimba. Mr. Sakwimba, kindly turn on your video, please. It's mandatory in order for people to hear your opinion. You have to turn on your video because we need to see who's talking. In the meantime, yes, just turn on your video. It's okay even if it's dark. By the way, we saw you when you came in. It wasn't that dark. You're good. Yeah, give us your opinion. All right. Okay, so I don't know. People's internet is tripping nowadays. So in the meantime, let's look at the reasons why we are having this problem according to this short text by Kalemba. So fuel prices, electricity tariffs need to be increased to avert future challenges. So it seems the people, Kunta and Shuku, they're going to be doing this to prevent a lot of things from happening in the future. So obviously they do know what they're talking about. And I really believe that the Bank of Zambia governor, Dr. Deni Kalialia, knows exactly why they need to sort of do these adjustments, especially as far as fuel pump prices and electricity tariffs are concerned. And you have to remember, a lot of things were happening during the past 10 years. So get to say ufike situation wamba ko controller. You know, so this is one of the reasons why a few changes need to be done, and there has to be like a progressive wave of doing proper things and saving money, and then later on we're going to be able to reap the benefit. But this is where the problem is, because a lot of people were eager and are anxious to like see the amazing things that the UPND is and will do in the future. And we've had similar promises in the past. For example, more money in your pockets. Remember that proclamation by the Patriotic Front, right, in the beginning before the came into power. More money in your pockets within Shingadana Nyoko days. But later on, people just became used to it, and it was a forgotten story. So are we ever going to have a situation where we have you know, a political party that comes in, delivers everything that they talked about, and they just basically get to make a difference? So that's what I want to find out from you. How patient are you going to be with regards to, you know, all the different promises that the UPND kind of made in the beginning? And just like I told you in the beginning, right, on Z Corner, we call it like it is. At this particular moment, right, a lot of Zambians are not really happy about this development, you know. And if I come here and start sugarcoating and just, you know, saying what the people don't feel, then I'm going to be betraying you, the people that really make Z Corner what it is. So I'm just telling it like it is. These fuel prices and the electricity tariffs are really going to be a huge burden to a lot of Zambians. So if they can do it very fast and get back to regular programming, that would be very, very good. So I can see some people coming through. Andy Mudenda, you need to switch on your video. You guys already know the drill. Turn on your video in order for you to be part of Z Corner. Then you are definitely going to have better chances of being on the stream with us. So Andy Mudenda. Andy, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? Can you be static? Like stop moving around, stop shaking your camera, and just all right. Okay, it seems I'm going to be teaching people how to do this. Yeah, so anyway, when you're ready, just join, sit in one position, stop moving, and then give us your opinion.
All
right, okay. Yeah, so that's definitely a bad idea. So this is one of the reasons why a lot of you know, social media platforms have got like specific people, because when you just invite everybody, people are just going to be coming per live stream. Join. You know, I'm not saying he was in the tele. I'm just saying, you know, like when you come through, come prepared, because we want everybody to have a chance to give their opinion. But you guys have to be professional, even though we are in this non-professional setup. But at least when you're coming through, come through prepared, because a lot of people are watching you. So we want to give this platform to everybody, so that everybody has got access. But if you're not really, you know, prepared and you're not being professional, then we're going to have specific people, and then it's going to change. So please be professional and respect the rest of the viewers who are watching. So when you come through, be precise, do what you have to do, get to the point, and just, you know, be professional, basically. Mr. Sakwimba, welcome to the show.
I'm all right, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. So what do you think about this fuel price hike, which is going to happen, and the electricity tariffs?
Okay, for that, Mr. Mona, okay, I missed when you started. Yeah, I just came in when you started, but I really didn't get what you said at first.
Yeah, so here
So
the situation is the fuel price spike, which is going to happen. The electricity tariff, well, the prices are going to be hiked because they are trying to avert certain things, you know, in the future. So they have it's like a necessary evil.
mm-hmm. Actually, it's for me. I feel it has come to a stage whereby people never expected what will come out. So for that, I think for electricity tariffs to be high, they've not told us the reason why they will increase the tariff price,
Well, I
because
think they did. Well, the Bank of Zambia governor did sort of clarify that. So, well, in case you didn't check it out, it's okay. You don't need to comment in case you don't have like the full details. But
okay.
this is what I might ask you. So, all right, okay, he's left. So today we're having like a very tricky topic. It seems people don't want to criticize it because our topics are pretty, you know, today's topic is a little bit it's controversial, slightly controversial. So please let me know if you want to be part of this conversation. What do you think about what is going to be happening? And by the way, GRZ plans to stop fuel subsidies. So how is this going to affect the economy? What is going to happen? And so on and so forth. So Patrick, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
How are you?
Very good. I hope you
Hello,
don't really
can
have
you get
any
me?
internet problems. So what is your contribution?
Muna, can you get me?
We can get you. Go on.
Hello?
Fuel. Yes, we can hear you, sir. You can go on. All right. So this is not really working. So let me bring Joshua. Joshua, hi. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. Oh my goodness. Okay, so brother Oscar, how are you? You're back?
Yes, how are you, Mona? Hello, Mona,
Very
how
good.
are you?
Very good. Very good. What is
Right,
your contribution?
me, I'm back, and I think the problem with the network might be on the other side. I can see some other gentlemen are finding very difficult to participate. So I think it might be somewhere there.
Ah, okay, but the feed on Facebook is all right. Like I'm seeing the feed.
Okay.
The feed is okay. Yeah, I
All
don't know,
right.
but you can go on. You can go on.
So well, I think my contribution for the quite involving arguments for this evening's conversation is first of all about the probability that they might hike the prices of electricity and the prices of fuel. You know, Mr. Muna, I think the stance of the government, Bank of Zambia, and the probably hiking of prices, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, but I think what the government should be very careful about is to explain why there might be some price increase, some hiking of prices. Why? They have to explain. Makamaka finga aba kumishaba vena kuyona whatever koku balondorela wino pantu tabaka chite understand. You know, Wamuna, this government, with most of the Zambians, I think with a lot of Zambians, they have fought very much to remove the PF government, which I think they did very well. A lot of things were only a mirage. Twale monati electricity nangwa. The problem of Zesco. Just look at the problem of Zesco. Just some few days before the elections, 12 August, they said now that they have inaugurated the problem. They have also solved the problem at Zesco and the dam and all those things. So there was the load shedding was a past argument. But then there we are. We are back to the same situation. And there are explanations. The pump is not working. That fuse is gone. There's this problem. These problems we are going to come back, even with PF government. The same problems we are going to come back because it was just a marriage. Marriage muchibe mbali milalala ndati fidawale tubepa wakulange fintu ule mwana kwati limbi kuntanshi kuleisa akapo mbwatu alake katata tika kusume kanshi nishi kana ni mbwiri kanshi waya ikate mbwiri elwe mbwiri ya kusuma no kusuma ya kuchena no kuchena. So it is inevitable what is going to happen. It will be inevitable. But Vamuna, this evening, I was reading Mr. Pilato's comment. I don't know on what platform he did. Pilato made a very, very good comment. He said, the problem is not hiking prices. That is not the problem. The problem is, how can a government hike prices before they have not yet started solving the problems of unemployment, a lot of unemployment amongst the youth, and all the problems with teachers not working, nurses not working, doctors not working? How can we start hiking prices if, first of all, we haven't yet sorted this basic problem? So I think I'll side by Pilato's point. Pilato said, it's not a problem of hiking prices, but I think it's fundamental that the government should take as a priority to start creating job opportunities for the people. Abena Zambia nga batampo kuomba bana bamuna bakakwata kuka 1,000 kwacha mu pocket. If you have a 1,000 kwacha mu pocket, once time increase ama electric tariffs na alaya alipila ngani nkwata 1,000 na alaya alipila ko something. I'll pay something. Mamanen. So I think the government is supposed to be. I am not against the stance because in Nshilimu government, I don't know of idama problems over face. There must be a reason, a concrete reason why the Bank of Zambia governor has stated that and why they suggest that probably they are going to increase these prices in Nshilimu government. So I don't have.
But according to this information, let me just chime in. So according to this information by Pilato, he says, the rationale for introducing subsidies was that even the lowest paid citizens should be able to afford some decent life. The removal of subsidies and the subsequent rise of the cost of electricity and fuel prices will impact the ordinary people worse compared to others who bask in enormous wealth. Those who can't afford basic needs now will be dropped further down the poverty line. Those who could afford just the basics will equally fall a step below in their poverty. So according to him, just like you said, right, in the beginning of his write-up, right, he says the indication by the central bank governor to raise the fuel and electricity tariffs is and was expected. It was expected because from a long time, we knew that these were subsidized costs. The real cost is and was not what we the people pay for. Removing these subsidies was the song that the PF preached from inception, and whenever the ERB was approving upward adjustments to the cost of fuel and electricity tariffs, they reminded us that it was because the costs were not reflecting the reality at market level. Increasing the cost of electricity or fuel is not really the problem. I do not think that the problem is the actual cost of electricity or fuel. To assume that the problem is the cost is a huge misunderstanding and may not be helpful for those charged with a responsibility to find solutions to our problem. What then is our problem? Our problem is the fact that the majority of our people cannot afford. We have a huge number of unemployed youths who are not sure of what to do next for them to land a coin. We have a huge population who are struggling to afford basic commodities, even with the subsidies still in place. The rationale for introducing subsidies was that even the lowest paid citizens should be able to afford some decent life. The removal of subsidies and the subsequent rise of the cost of electricity and fuel prices will impact the ordinary people worse compared to others who bask in enormous wealth. So it seems this price increment is going to come due to the fact that subsidies are going to be removed. And then we also have another explanation by another gentleman. So let me just quickly find it. Hold on. So according to this information by this man, Tariff Increment, he says, from what I know, pricing of fuel in Zambia is based on cost plus model, which mainly takes into account movements in two fundamentals. That is the international oil prices and the exchange rate. If these two factors move in the same direction, as in the exchange rate goes up and the fuel prices does the same, the overall fuel prices are normally high or greater, and the vice versa is true. Now, here's the thing. Currently, the fuel prices are trading at approximately $78 per barrel as of today, and we saw it hit its record high of about $85 per barrel last month since October 2014. From the look of things, the international fuel prices are still going up and it's projected to hit $100 per barrel. On the other hand, our local currency is currently trading at approximately 18 kwacha per $1, which means it has depreciated by approximately 28% if compared to 14 kwacha per $1 of December 2019, which we last saw fuel pump price adjustments. Okay, so this is according to him. So he says two things are usually factored in when you are trying to find the cost of the price: the international oil prices and the exchange rate. And then we also have this sort of subsidy abolishment, which is going to happen. So those are the factors that are bringing in the, price increment, which is inevitable. And we recently, we did watch the video of Anthony Mwamba saying, you need to go in and have surgery. So this is what he's saying. So Simon or Mr. Pombo, you can finish your thought, then we can go on.
So I think just as you have read on Pilato's opinion, it's inevitable, but I think that should not be the priority of this government. The priority of this government, even if the government probably is going to lose some funds, let the government first of all create that minimum possibility for the youth to start working. The government, if Hakainde Hichilema is saying our budget starts in January, even the price increment, that is my suggestion, cannot even be thought of in this budget. No, it's totally wrong. The price increments might come whereby beginning from next year. Yes, probably yes, because by then there will be some money circulation in the country. Some of the people will start working. Ramona, listen, look at this contradiction, and maybe I would end up for a while just there. There is a contradiction here. The Minister of, we are fighting about pollution. How do you call that ministry now? Of green economy. Green economy. Yeah, we have on the other side green economy, and they went in some of those tuma forests, ngama bushes area, when they talked to Wakamalasha, the people selling charcoal. They told them, next time we find you here, we are going to arrest you. So on this other side, the government is saying, don't burn charcoal because you are adding to pollution. On the other side, there is no job for the people, and the only material can use to cook their katapa, nabondwe, is charcoal, very cheap, maybe compared to electricity. Now, when you are going to raise the tariffs of electricity, and you are going to ban the charcoal, the charcoal consumption and all these things, where is the solution there? Where do the people run to? Where should be the solution there? So I think let the government first of all observe and reason a bit. They have to think very seriously before they can make such a move. I'm not against about it, but I think the timing is wrong. The timing for me is wrong. Thank you.
Right. Thanks. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Joshua. Who was that? Who said Joshua? Yeah, you can go ahead.
Maybe a quick comment before I get into the hike of the tariffs and the like on the issues of charcoal. If you've been in the villages now, you would see that trees are gone. There are no trees in the villages. Why? Because of charcoal. And if you do your math correctly, you'd find that actually charcoal is more expensive than electricity. Now imagine if you spend 10 kwacha charcoal per day by a month, you'd find that buying electricity is actually cheaper than using charcoal. Okay, and the burning of charcoal actually not just pollution, but we're talking about global warming. Okay, now away from that, the issue of the fuel hike and ZESCO tariffs hike. Number one, fuel hike, if you've been following the international news, it's almost everywhere.
It's global.
I heard President Biden in America, okay, talking about telling the Americans to brace themselves for a while because fuel is gonna go up. Okay, and in speech he mentioned about transitioning away from fuel to now electric vehicles, if you've been following. Okay, so these things, somehow I think the world is trying to move away from fuel and is trying to move away from how we generate electricity. Okay, now it going up, it's not the first time that electricity has gone up. Okay, and things will always be going up. But for me, the question, I'm speaking not as an intellectual, but just as an ordinary citizen, you know, not learned on these issues, but just as an ordinary citizen. I look at the likes of our governor, Bank of Zambia governor, and the committee, and I ask myself, really, am I smarter than them? You know, for them to come up with such, you know, such ideas in order to stabilize, you know, our economy or whatever it is, that these hikes have to go up. Are we really smarter than them? That we have better ideas than they are, than they have. That's the thing that I have in my mind. Okay. Now remember the time of Mwanawasa when we had HIPIC. If you are there, you know that we had to tighten our belts for us to just, you know.
Yes, Brother Joseph, let me just interject there and play the devil's advocate. The thing is not really about increasing the prices. It's about the promises that the people were given. Back in the day, right, this tweet was posted by President Hichilema. He gave us like a breakdown of how they would do it. He said, how can we reduce the price of fuel? The left side is the current price calculation, and on the right side is my proposal on why I know fuel can be 4 kwacha cheaper if these measures are taken immediately. We will fix it. This is the problem that Zambians have with, you know, this new proclamation. Is because they are following and relying on what he initially said. And this is the biggest problem that I see a lot of people talking about. So just to play the devil's advocate, right? How do you feel with regards to this particular proclamation and the recent outcome? How does that make you feel? Because initially President Hichilema did have a very good breakdown, a very brilliant, smart breakdown while he was in opposition. But what's happening now? He's leading Zambia, and this is what's happening. So what's the excuse now? That's the question that a lot of Zambians have at this particular moment. And you already know, Zed Corner, we do not sugarcoat anything. You know, we say what is being talked about. So how do people react to such? And there's evidence, there's past tweets. He wrote this by himself. So are we going to be able to like see this particular breakdown come into fruition? So what's your take on this? And how do you feel as a citizen?
So I'm looking at it in two ways. Perhaps they've just formed government, and they have to, put certain things in place for them to maybe start delivering some of these promises. Okay, maybe one of them is the same, I don't know, but the governor, of course, is not a politician. So maybe with him, he sees it in the other way. So my first part is that, maybe they're getting there. Maybe they will fulfill those promises. But the other part of it, the second part of it, I would say, maybe he was just trying to be a politician, trying to win votes. That's the other thing. Politicians are known for that. We are promised, remember, more money, like you said, more money in our pockets. And the economy did not really allow us to have more money in our pockets, you see. So maybe it was mere politicking, or we'll get there. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. Thank you, Brother Joshua. We'll get back to you. So, Simon, what is your
thanks very
take on
much.
this?
Thanks very much for having me, and just add my voice, to the platform and the people. Personally, I'd say it's very, very unfortunate, and I never expected, it to come as early as it has. However, let me maybe just break it this way. How it means when the government increases the tariffs and the fuel prices. Say for instance, maybe in a month, my earning is 1,000, and maybe for instance, maybe I was using a 250 for power, and maybe 400, maybe for fuel. It means that I'm going to remain with a 350. And maybe my maid, I was paying, maybe somebody helping me home, I was paying that person a 300. And yet the government comes in, increases the tariffs, increases the fuel prices. It means that my expense is going to increase. If I was spending, that 300 on the fuel, I'm going to increase it a little bit. But at the end of the day, who's going to be affected? To cut off the cost, meaning that maid has to lose the job, meaning that some other chose or some works at home, I'll be able to do it myself, and then I'll be like, okay, I have to let go of the maid, meaning that somebody has lost their job. Not only have they lost their job, meaning that it has cut also on the line of businesses, whereby maybe that maid was supposed to buy something upon getting something, which whatever that she was getting from me. At the end of the day, and bread and the like, that person is not going to buy those, because where they were earning, they're not going to earn. It has been cut off. Meaning, it's in the nutshell, it's a chain. Not only me who's going to be affected, but it's everyone. And moreover, when you increase, whenever you touch, say, fuel, you touch maybe water, you touch food, you touch electricity, you can't touch this. They'd have thought of other things other than this. Okay, because if you touch fuel, it means that everything is going to increase. Okay, everything is going to increase. There's no argument about that. When you touch power, when you increase, the electricity tariffs, it means that everything is going to increase. So now look at the implication. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this. For personally, when I was voting, I wasn't expecting this. It being a discussion of today. If at all, they think that's a solution. Come on, there could be other solutions other than increasing anyhow. If anything, the reason why we voted out the previous government, it was the reason because of increment here and there and the like. So I'm very surprised and disappointed. On how everything's being done.
Right. So on the other end, we saw the mining tax be sort of, according to this, write-up, Zambia announces mining tax breaks pairs deficit in 2022 budget. So Zambia announced tax breaks for mining companies, drastically cut its budget deficit target, and said it expects to conclude debt restructuring talks with creditors early next year. Mining royalties will be deductible from income taxes, Finance Minister Stumbeko Msogotwani told lawmakers Friday in his first budget speech since his party won power in August elections. He didn't announce changes to the royalty rates. In 2019, the nation implemented the 10th change to the tax regime in 16 years. So according to this information, right, the key targets were spending of 173 billion kwacha, which is about $10 billion or 37.1% of GDP, and revenue and grants of 100 billion kwacha or 21.6% of GDP. Expenditure in 2021 is now forecast at 139 billion kwacha versus 119 billion kwacha budget for this year. Economic growth is seen at 3.5% in 2022 and 3.3% this year versus 1.8% target in the 2021 budget. The fiscal deficit is forecast at 6.7% of GDP in 2022 and 10.4% in 2021, compared with this year's target of 9.3%. External debt servicing is seen at 51.3 billion kwacha. Domestic borrowing will be limited to 5.2% of the GDP. So this information was released on 29th October 2021. So basically, the miners are going to be given some tax breaks. So yes, so this is the current situation that we are having. Anyway, gentlemen, looking forward to your opinions. Godwin, welcome to the show. What do you think about the recent news that we received with regards to the fuel and the tariff price hike? You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. When we voted in our government, unfortunate part is that we are so disappointed. We never expected it. We removed the.
Why didn't you expect it, Godwin? Why didn't you expect it?
The same thing that they are talking about to increase the fuel prices, also the ZESCO tariff. If you look where I'm staying right now, I'm deep in the Eastern Province, Chipangari constituency. So to be specific, to be on the point, the thing is, when they increase the fuel price, everything will be increased. Everything, not only everything will be increased. So we are so disappointed with their decision. And when you look, even their taxes, which they're increasing, exactly, we don't know even what they're trying to do, because they told us to say they will reduce our life of living, our cost of life of living. They told us that. So we don't really understand what is going on with them. Sure.
Right. So what if? Well, I love playing the devil's advocate. So if you look at the world economy and the performance of different countries as well, it's not only in Zambia. There's price increments everywhere. I'm sure Mr. Mpombo, who is in Italy, how are things there, like in terms of the prices and the basic outlook on life? Have you
Yeah.
had recent price increments in a lot of different products,
Yeah.
etc.? So how's the
Yeah.
situation in Italy?
Okay, I think in Italy, just as in the European Union, we are talking about some of the major European Union countries like France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Portugal, okay, etc., etc. So they have the same policies. What the European Union have done, especially as a reason of the effects of COVID-19, they came together. They put on the table an amount of cash which they have in the European Union Bank, and they divided this amount of cash accordingly to different countries. So those countries who had a high percentage of youth losing jobs because of COVID pandemic, Mr. Mona, here in Europe, they have introduced what is called citizenship pay. Citizenship pay. You are a European citizen, you don't work, you present your papers and everything, and they give you the minimum amount of money for you to survive. Because, you know, COVID is real. Now, the hike of prices is also a real situation. It's going to be worldwide. So what is America going to do? What is England doing? What is the European Union doing? They look at the income of their citizens. It's not just a question of hiking because worldwide everything is hiked. It's a question of saying, when we hike by that percentage, is with the same income that she has, is she going to increase her business? If the answer, Mr. Mona, if the government, they are going to answer me, no, Bamayo will continue selling to amount of tomato na to onion. Then what is the solution? What is the government solution to go and help to increase supply, hence income? Whereas worldwide price of petrol and electricity is going up. So solution, kuma countries, Zambia, this solution is a very bad solution. Whereas kuno ku Italy, we have introduce citizenship income, which means I apply license, driving license, yon sama data in a government. National registration card, it means yon sama data nganda bomba balishiwa, nganshibomba balishiwa. So nganshibomba, they give me the minimum income because a responsible government would not be happy to see its citizens to squatter, to go and die, or to go and now indulge themselves in prostitution. Let me just be hard on that. A responsible government would not allow our Kashana, our Ichava, and our Lumendo to go and indulge themselves in prostitution so that they can pay that increment of electricity. So what is the reason now? Is there logic for a country to do that, to take those measures? The logic is not there. In America, under COVID pandemic, they gave all the citizens $1,000 United States. Papane wapangepo wale kwa America, please, you can control me. Kuno ku Europe baba pela bamuna 600 euros. 600 euros to any person who doesn't work. Do you understand how you curve criminality? Ne mfuti abantu balikwata mumushi. Bakainde. Abantu ne mfuti balikwata. Ukuwomba tabale womba. You increase the prices. What do you expect? Think about these things. Gentlemen, thank you on the panel. I'm thinking it's not, I understand myself the situation chachini. And if yama mines, if it's a scandal, Bamuna yama mines Mozambia, I can't understand. We have emeralds, we have gold, we have copper. And yet our benefit in Wambi. How many, what is the tax in copper? Zambia, 15% and 10%, I don't know. 10% taxation. Kunoku Italy, when they are taxing, their biggest industry, Wamuna, ni imiotoka kupanga kama Ferrari, Bugatti, Efewapanga. What is the minimum taxation? It's 18%. 18% of taxation, which means wapanga, businessman apange mpia, the government takes advantage and the government becomes rich. Hence, impia by government, they can help our citizens. If we did to quite a gold mine, we don't have the money. Please, the youth, let us stand up. If the government is not going to benefit in gold mining, let them close the gold mine. Let them let us wake up.
Musambo moya gold no mbatafi moneka ama minerals oto kwata.
Why can't they close? In F1 they now continue basing on this. Gold mine, if we don't benefit, let them close the exportation of gold. Fueve ne I'm aware that today santi
gold na
yes. Diamonds, Wamuna, diamonds, precious stones wa Zambia to alikwata. Kura kukitwe okokachingani kalushi. There was a candidate, Ishina Wamuna, if you can help me. There was that candidate who has a diamond mining. He was a presidential candidate. You can help me. Alapela na land. This guy, he gives land. Tuma diamond, tuma precious stones. Shan. Emeralds.
Yes, some are emeralds. And a lot of Hollywood stars put on expensive diamonds from Zambia. So he didn't papa. I'm a diamonds. I have my country community. They're like, celebrities putting on the most expensive emeralds from Zambia. I'm like, where is this money going? How come we don't utilize this money?
We have emeralds, we have gold, we have zinc, we have Black Mountain. Black Mountain is going to China because China is a millennium history. Culture millennium. They organize for 1,000 years to come. They are still planning for what is going to happen 1,000 years to come. So China, walefunya fi Black Mountain, China, they are using part of that product, ukupangama batteries, electric vehicles, exactly. Which is the future for all the world. This is the scandal. Wazande to alikwata mineral. Fingi. And one of the things like do you know why Wapangire Airport, Pandola Airport? Chachi Airport. Wadi panga na karodi kalako wapanga wadi panga karodi akakuya mukufumina para pa baruba Bali no kula tunta baba lumendwa bali no kula tunta ile material from copper belt without using IFMA trucks. Be careful, wake up.
So basically what we're saying is let's start utilizing gold and cobalt right now.
We have the resources.
Definitely. So we need to hear about these. We need to have these conversations. What are we doing with our gold? If it's not adding any value to our economy, let's stop selling it. Let's hold on to our gold. Let's stop exporting cobalt if it's not adding anything, because we're discovering these new minerals and there's a lot of demand for electricity vehicles. I mean, Elon Musk, they're making a lot of electrical vehicles and China is like heavy on electrical vehicles. But how come we've got the most important component of, having these electrical vehicles, which is cobalt for making the batteries and all that stuff? Smartphones. All those gadgets use minerals coming from Zambia, from Congo. How come we're not benefiting? you know.
Yes.
So that's the conversation that we need. We need to utilize all the minerals that we have. If we're not utilizing them, then we might as well stop selling them. Then what's the point of selling them and exporting them? That's why Abanensu from the east, when they come, Kusangavati, he's got a business of Iankoko, but he asanka millionaire because they are dealing with other businesses on the side. You know, they're doing a lot of things, and if we're not Zambians. So what we want is we want to start utilizing our minerals. Gatafire panga sense kufire ko kufisisha. Tukala bika fe munganda pansha yesamba na tukwata fi gold and if gold fierce. Fi my emerald fierce wifi. At least tref tamba kona menso. Not fair onse tupe makofe center. Ine na kulile kitwe ine bosses ine na much for ma fe center. Ofona isa kofe benefits ine kuli kopa ma center. Each for BTC, Shan, that's the only thing that a lot of Zambians benefit from. So we need to start utilizing our mineral resources to the max, because there's no way. The onset quite a problem. I'm a deforestation, and then with these electricity problems, right? Environmental disasters. Soon tukaleko kulima. Gatwaleko kulima, we're going to have famine. There will be droughts. And we're going to be refugees running to other countries. So let's start utilizing our mineral resources. We increase, or rather improve our economy, and we keep on moving. Anyway, Brother Jason, what is your contribution?
Thank you so much, Brother Muna, and apologies for my late coming.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You're on time.
You know, I'm an hustler. I was just preparing for some exams. So I said them later. Yes, please.
We wish you good luck on your upcoming exams.
Yeah, you know, it's a pity, especially to the majority marginalized Zambians of the current proclamation that the president is issuing. But on the other hand, I'm sure on the issue of fuel, they can be justified, because this issue actually of fuel, it is not just going to affect Zambia alone. It is a global concern. So on the issue of fuel, they can be excused somehow, because maybe their expectation and their projections has not come to be the way they expected everything to be. But on the issue of Amalite, Brother Muna, I think this issue, like other panelists have said, you know, they need to include other people who cannot manage certain things. Because, you know, electricity, we are not saying we are going to be importing electricity. This electricity actually is produced within the country. And if we look at this same regime that we are castigating, the PF which went out, they had put up a lot of actually the solar plants, which actually can produce a lot of electricity, and they can be lenient enough to the citizens so that at least everyone actually benefit in one way or the other. But you know, you hear people, they are saying, no, these guys, they are okay with these policies that they have come with, because they are going to increase salaries for the civil servants. But the fact is, not everyone is a civil servant, Brother Muna. As you can see, myself, I'm a businessman. You know, so certain things, when they are adjusted, they are going to affect a lot of things. We are talking of the driver, actually, of the economy, because we are talking of the energy. If they increase the electricity, automatically, we'll begin to buy 1 kg sugar, maybe from 25 kwacha to 40 kwacha. It will be like one and the same thing. So certain issues, guys, if it means to subsidize, they just have to do that, so that they cater for everyone. Not whereby they just say, no, look here, this is what is happening, we are going to do this and that. You know, there are certain things, odd, because if they make a mistake of wanting to do everything at once, then they are going to fail automatically, Brother Muna. So there are certain issues, there are certain projects that the government can hold, and at least trying to put some funds kuma areas are important, like in the energy sector. Fuel, of course, we don't produce fuel, so they can justify. And again, you hear the issue of burning charcoal. They go to the people in the villages. What do they do, like other panelists have said? So when we are trying to actually curb a certain anomaly, we curb a certain anomaly because it is a problem which requires a solution. How do we stop these people? Because those traveling, I heard him when he was swearing today because for this cause that we are doing together on air, I'm very keen to be following him and to be listening to what he's saying. Because Omobare Church is saying, I'm doing marketing actually. I'm trying to find the market for those people who are doing this and that. So before they even go to the charcoal banners, you know, there are simple technologies that have come, which actually the government can lobby for those guys who are charcoal banners to say, guys, I think cutting down of trees we are going to minimize. Let us resort maybe to making charcoal, charcoal briskets using, I think I watched someone, there is a certain guy, a white guy in Zambia using just leaves by Brother Muna. Amabula, and they make charcoal briskets, you know, and that becomes a good substitute. Not whereby you just go to say, Mualareka, Ukocha Malasha. Then the question is, that's the question. What are they going to substitute now if they stop burning charcoal? So that's what the government actually should be putting in place before they do, they come up with actually certain decisions. Because, you know, Abantu, Abengi, they don't understand, Brother Muna, the way the economy works. They don't understand. No, if they just come out like that, they are going to discover that actually they are going to lose grip from the ground. Because, you know, those same people we are neglecting as we are making decisions actually are the same people who even give them votes, who even gave them votes from those typical areas. So as they make decisions, I'm a panelist like Brother Mpombo, but I should ask a question to say, what are they going to do? How are we going to cover these people? Because we are affected by this globally. Now, how are we going to assist? Ngabala konkanya apona ka social cash transfer and include other people, actually those people who have reached like 18 years and above, grade 12, as they are waiting for other things. They look at something which they can put in place to assist those people. Now, if they are just going to be coming like, if into so without giving proper solutions of how they are going to do, because they need to say, okay, this is what is going to happen. Fuel is going to be increased. And automatically when fuel is increased, Brother Muna, other goods and services, they are going to be adjusted. They are going to be adjusted high up. They are not going to be adjusted down. They are not going to be adjusted down. So, they have to look at the economy. The economy doesn't grow with a consuming society. If you look at ourselves as a country, Baramuna, we have been in a consuming position, especially as locals, because if you are talking of economy, we are talking of GDP, gross domestic product. Actually, we count what is being produced as compared to what is being imported in the country. Now, Marasangati economy yesu, ya libasana kusaidia consuming. They have to bring in Utuma projects. They have to lobby for the companies, big companies. Senupanga kona nka company kasopo. Lete nko tuma machine tu akwebati. Abantu besu pale panga kwa marashok chirabake kareve filia. Like Brother Mpombo saying, you know, certain crimes, we just kept them by engaging people. Now, if people, they don't have things to do, what happens? These are the cases that we are witnessing now. There is a surge of crimes, especially in those developed towns of Zambia. Why? Because abantu bali beresho kwatendarama. Now suddenly aleko kana kwatendarama, and you know it brings a problem. So we are saying, as they are making those proclamations, because you know people were expectant to say when we pushing this party, it is going to come up with a government actually which is going to help us economy-wise. Of course, it is a plus on the issue of peace, but you know, still more peace. This peace that we are enjoying, abantu nga balina ensala, abantu brother Muna takwabe wakosa kunsala, takwabe wakosa kunsala. Actually, nsala is the root of all evil. Not fiabalanda the love of money. Me, I love to work and making sure that I put food on the table of my family, so that I prevent certain critical issues. Because ingana mupya brother Muna sister refo kushita skate. Indalama tashire mune kala tashan. She is going to resort to prostitution. Gaya refo ayokube yako. Akamkashana kalakam muneko wino. Takwe tiara chitashan. Ala iba. So we are calling upon the government that, of course, we are it with this global concern, but let the government find something that they can use to help people immediately, because they should not forget that we are coming. Actually, we are coming. Nipamiona fya patfumine epo abantu bali bere shokukwata ukwabule ukubombere fintu. So ngabasa na strategy akuchita ingenja abantu to do certain things, you know, they are going to even enjoy ruling this country. We don't have to hide, and we are appreciating some of these issues actually that you are bringing on air, because the government itself is listening. Thank you for now, Brother Muna.
Definitely. And the other thing that I want to bring to your attention, well, you come in, hold on, you come in, is the aspect of the effect of massive load shedding, high electricity prices, and obviously the eventual lead up to deforestation. And we have a situation because there has been a proposal on the lower Zambezi where they want to start a mine. And how is this going to further disrupt Zambia's ecosystem? So this is one of the reasons why this new ministry of Shani, what's the ministry of Shani? Ecology and
green, whatever, green economy.
Yes.
Green economy.
We need them to be very vocal about this issue. So let me play the video because this is very important.
Before you play the video, Brother
Muna,
before you play the video, Brother Muna, what they should know, that's why you know, a government, actually, it needs to be run by professionals. It needs to be run by people who understand, even on the appointment. They should make sure that they don't just push somebody to say, we are going to push this person to the Minister of Forest, we are going to put this person in the green economy. They need to bring in on board people who understand the issues of how the ecosystem operates. Because think of putting up a mine in the lower Zambezi, because that's the source actually of Zambezi River. There are tributaries there. Automatically that will disturb the eco structure of our country. Mwalasangati tumana tukambo kuma kwalambo kubama deserts because of such disturbance. So putting up a mine on the lower Zambezi, it is something actually, if it means to boycott, people should rise and boycott and be vocal on this issue, because that's babike kukuria mine kulowa Zambezi. Ababantu abesa, actually, you know, abesa ababantu, they don't care whatsoever. Ngabasenda fyofu barefu afkashala file michitikira. Then they have got those millennial plans we are hearing Brother Mpombo is mentioning. They don't even care. So even ourselves, you know, Zambia, we say Zambia is our heritage. So it is upon ourselves to protect what belongs to us.
Especially the environment, the ecosystem.
If it means we kalafi, because that's why I always commend Bakaunda. Brother Muna, are you aware that ama forest area basafi kwa engi, they were just protecting copper? Ni copper, monso muliomo ba biare miremu mulia. Actually, it's a copper belt. Now, they never wanted to exploit the things at once because they were looking at the future to come.
But as a FICO Nama protected areas, if we go at the Ministry of Lands, if you are sticker, Nama
Yes,
foreigners,
yes.
ku East, the license they were specifically targeting. It's a
Yes.
Pandora's box, but we won't talk about it for now. It's too early. But anyway,
Yes,
go
Brother
on.
Muna. So putting up a mine on the lower Zambezi, it is not something that it should be encouraged. It should be castigated actually in strong terms. They cannot disturb the ecosystem of that area. Zambezi ngayauma, it will mean we won't have Kariba Dam. Kariba Dam ngayakama, it means we are going to have an adverse effect on the supply of electricity. I think I said
electricity la shupa nishi Zambezi taeleoma. What's more? And the other thing is, since we have got gold, we are not seeing the benefit. What gives them a guarantee that we're going to even benefit from this mine? So, until we start seeing emeralds, cobalt, and all these other minerals that we have, they need to start producing results. But anyway, let me play the video.
Not the usual view for everyone. We are here to save nature. We want to save nature for our future generations. We are inviting you to join us on this crusade. Sign the petition and say no to mining in the Lower Zambezi. Save the Lower Zambezi. Lower Zambezi ni yatu.
These are the hills in Lower Zambezi, and this is where the proposed mine is supposed to be. And I would love for you guys to join the movement to protect this place. It's such a beautiful place. Definitely part of our identity as Zambians. And we encourage you guys to sign the petition and join this movement to save Zambezi. Zambezi ni yatu.
I'm here at the beautiful Lower Zambezi National Park. This is one of the most beautiful spots in Zambia and in Africa. And I would like generations from now to be able to enjoy this spot with nature as I'm enjoying today. However, it saddens me to hear that there is a proposed mining project to be undertaken in the Lower Zambezi National Park. We say no to mining in the Lower Zambezi National Park. I invite you to join the movement and sign the petition and say no to mining in the Lower Zambezi. Zambezi ni yatu. Zambezi ni yatu.
There are no words in the human vocabulary that can adequately describe how beautiful this place is. I think it's the duty of every single solitary Zambian to at least visit the Zambezi once. Once you see it, you'll never forget it. Let's fight this idea of bringing a mine here. It's almost unconscionable that they would even think of doing that. When you see this place, you know that that's the wrong thing to do. Join the movement, sign the petition, and say no to mining in the Lower Zambezi. Save Zambezi. Safe Zambezi.
I love nature. Nature is beautiful. Nature is glorious, and nature is refreshing. It is gold. Nature provides us with the beautiful plants that we see, the land on which we walk, the mesmerizing waters, and the glorious animals. Nature takes care of us by providing the resources on which we thrive. So if we keep taking and taking and taking, then we will have nothing left. So let's give back to nature. I invite you to join the movement. Sign the petition and say no to mining in the Lower Zambezi. Zambezi ni yatu.
Yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We need strict instructions from the new ministry, because this is their concern. This is our concern as Zambians. We do not want any mining activity to take place in the lower Zambezi because it's going to devastate Zambia and our ability, to take advantage of our land, because there's going to be a lot of different things that are going to be affected by that particular act. So the new ministry should come out in the open and just give a proper statement with regards to this, campaign which has been going on, and we need to know their stance on this particular issue. Joseph, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, it's Joshua.
Joshua, yeah, go on.
I think you said that, maybe a bit of comment on the video. I think it would be hypocritical for the government to stop people from cutting trees for charcoal, then go and open a mine in the lower Zambezi. Then there will be hypocrites. Now, maybe away from that, looking at the issue of electricity, I think this has been with us for a long time. If my memory serves me right, I think the issue of load shedding started in somewhere 2008, if I'm not mistaken, and electricity used to go somewhere around 18 to 21. And we were taught by the government then that by 2011, load shedding will end. Come 2011, it became worse. And up to now, it has become worse. And for me, I'm seeing that it's electricity generation, or ZESCO, is becoming, what's the word? It's not sustainable anymore, and we'll continue to complain about it. Maybe it's about time that we switch. We switch from ZESCO. We look at other alternative sources of electricity or of energy, because it's becoming expensive, and once electricity is expensive, fuel is expensive, everything becomes expensive. Maybe we should change from relying on ZESCO.
Yes, or what you're trying to suggest, I believe, is ZESCO needs competition. Basically, that's what you're saying. So, because I feel they think they have a monopoly, and when there's a monopoly with regards to electricity supply, right? There's obviously complacency where people are sort of they don't feel the need to improve their services. So ZESCO needs competition. We need to open up the sector, allow different players to come through and provide solutions. Maybe this will make them wake up, because it's been over 2 decades, the same issue, problem after problem, ZESCO this, ZESCO that. They need competition. We need to open up the electricity industry and allow other players to come in. Anyway, Brother Mumbi, what's your opinion? Unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, okay, but for me, I have a question.
Right.
Concerning about the increase of the prices in fuel and electricity. My question is, why is it that, I don't know if it is the whole Africa or just Zambia alone, why is it that whenever there is a problem, the solution is seen in the citizens as African leadership? They always see the solution in its citizens. Why? Because, like, I'll talk about the fuel. We talked about last time that the issue of having the middlemen in the fuel procurement is the reason why the fuel price is not stable, is a bit higher than it should be. Why can they just think of first cut off the middlemen instead of thinking of increasing the prices? The issue to talk about electricity, the issue is they have failed to control the kwacha, the power of the currency. Hence, they are just succumbing to dollar. In case of instead of fighting, increasing the power of kwacha, they just let it go the way it is and increase so that it matches the international market. Otherwise, it's the problem of the government to solve this problem, not us. Because whenever they see that we have, for example, like we need to match up the what the PF used to say at the Southern Africa, we are the cheapest in terms of electricity. It's because our kwacha lost power. The The time kwacha was trading at 5 kwacha per dollar, there was no need to increase my units up to this much because ngawachita convert kuni dollar yale panga sense, but this time around yale chita lose more than 3 times as it used to cost. So instead of finding a solution to increase the strength of power, before solution umuntu kumlondenda angane emish kumlondela rates so that ariprepare inefficiency ya government. Why should it be like this in Africa? What's the questioning with?
Anybody can chime in. Yes, brother Oscar, and then we're going to have brother Jason, then brother Emmanuel.
Wamumbi, I think the question is a brilliant question. It's a very fundamental question, and I think just as I said before, we are going to talk. We will keep on talking. I love also the stance of Mr. Mona to say sometimes he plays like a devil's advocate to serve not only Hakainde Hichilema's new dawn government, but also to serve the whole nation. We are going to talk as long as they will give us the freedom to speak. We need to talk now. Mr. Mumbi, your question, I think ka answer you know, these people, once we admire China, we admire United States, we admire Europe, we admire America. Our politicians, they have sent children in England, they have sent children in Canada, United States, and also in Europe. That is now, why do they send their children Kuno? Question. The reason is, if into Kuno stable, when there is a worldwide crisis, the necessity, fuel is going up. So the increment of electricity is inevitable. The intelligence here country panel, the beloved panel, is the nation to see how they can help the citizens themselves. It's not only taxing the people. Kunoku Europe wamuna, if a country just went to tax the people here they are very much civilized. I would say, get me straight here. When I say civilized, I'm not saying that in Zambia we are not civilized, but I'm saying Abantu they will never allow a government to make such a stance. Bala it's the block ama industries, they will stop, they will block roads here and there because the government cannot increase without giving a remedy. So to the panel, I repeat what these people have tried to solve this problem. They give the citizens, those who do not have a job, they give them a minimum income. Otherwise, if ikachitika from Zambia, as if ikachitika from most of the African countries, ngatakulia kaka minimum solution, we are going to force Hawaii to go into destitution, prostitution, criminality. It's inevitable. Psychology. I like studying psychology. Our brain, we cannot control the brain. It continues working. Brain would force me to continue thinking all the time. And my brain is going to force me to find a solution. Whether that solution you want, you like it, whether you don't like it, my brain is going to force me to find a solution. Now, then you give them minimum to 500 kwacha per family 500 kwacha pakwati peka baba kabola la bakamukwiba ngatwamwikata tukalanda nishi wayibira ati yo kairipanga ndataturia yo twalimi pera 500 kwacha kuti mwashita mwakabunga na kamalasha nombanga tabakwetina 500 kwacha chinshi chalale shomwai chaya mukwiba chinshi. That question Vamuna asked President Hakainde Hichilema. What is going to stop a young graduate with no job to go and do prostitution for her to sustain her education? What is going to stop that one? Nothing. So if we are going to fight, when we are talking like this, we are not going to, my way of speaking is not to humble a government and to accuse them. Our freedom to speak is to also help. Let us speak, panel. Let us speak, especially a possible solution. Let us give them a solution. We need this government, and this government needs us very much. Thank you, Submit.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Brother Jason, then, yes, then you come through. Brother Jason, then Mr. Emmanuel, then we're going to have Simon. So, Brother Jason, go on.
I think to answer the question that our brother has to say, why is it that African politicians, they always want to shovel the burden on the citizens? You know, valandati ichibemba twalikwata language insosero imwera ndati akachira kambushi kasengulo pokekere. I'm sure Brother Pombo has exhausted that answer to say it's because, you know, it's like they don't project seeing themselves, you know, to continue living here in this country, and also to see their children also to be here and be able to benefit from whatever that they are going to decide. They don't see that because they know, since we are politicians, we are going to make our monies. Yeah? That's why even in whatever they do, in their talks, they would rather see the country set on fire because they know at any particular time, they might fire out. Yeah? They might fire out, of which it shouldn't be the case. You know, we should be admiring. We've got actually leaders where we can copy some way of governing the country. We have, I always talk about Paul Kagame. You know, Paul Kagame has managed to harness the economy of the country. He has managed to harness the social order of the country. You know, it is all about understanding what is supposed to be done. But you know, if we push in people who just go there in order to, like, I want to make a name, I want to become a celebrity by being a politician, you know, this is the only problem that we have. Now, if we have people who learn the country and they feel this is my home, I need to do this, I need to build up a legacy, even for other generations to come to follow suit. You know, those are the leaders actually who make inclusive decisions. But because we know, it's like tabaposa kofena mano mwamonaka nifeta kwebati abana bandi bale ikuta abana ba mnandi tabale tafinkwa tirenji twefyo mwamonaka. So that is the only problem. But if they know that we need to build our countries to the standard that we have got our own international hospitals, you know, they could be steady enough to say, if we fumble here, then it will mean we are going to make things worse for ourselves. So Brother Pombo has answered it. Oh, so the only problem which we always talk about is that Africa has everything. But what is just lacking in majority African countries, we shouldn't say all African, because we have got actually examples like Rwanda. We have got examples like Tanzania. We have got other examples which we can look at. So we can say most African countries, what we just lack is leadership. And we lack leadership because we are like, we've got erroneous information about maybe governance. That's what I can say.
All right, so we pass it over to Brother Emmanuel, then Simon. Simon, you're coming after Brother Emmanuel. Brother Emmanuel, kindly unmute yourself, then go on.
Yeah, good evening, Brother Muna, and good evening, panelists. Good evening, viewers. Thank you so much. Sorry for coming late. I had some other commitments. Despite that, I found some discussions on the issue of fuel increment. I think one of during the budget presentation in Parliament, after that there was a forum discussion. I'm sure it should have been at Murungush Conference, Murungush International Conference Center there, where the minister was invited and he highlighted how the previous regime caused all these problems of fuel through giving people, when it's supposed to use a pipeline, it comes as a crude oil, which becomes a bit cheaper, but they opted to give to middlemen transporting by road using tankers, and you know what it means. He tried, and he even said it will become really difficult for us, but then there should always be a solution, because whatever difficult situation, to them who are in those offices, they are not feeling it at all. The pinch is on us as the ordinary citizens. We are the one suffering the most, because when they will increase the pump price, it means the transporter also will increase. The trader of these various essential commodities, everything will increase. Now, the end user, the end consumer, us as consumers, we are the ones suffering. Whatever product that we are going to get, it will be increased because fuel has been increased. When you are talking of traveling from Lusaka to Sioma, it will go maybe beyond the 500 kwacha. So the best thing, the UPND should also look at this critically, the administration or the government of HH. Here as the Z corner, we are providing checks and balances to the government of the day. The way they were doing it, though PF could not allow other people to criticize them, but we thank God that UPND has allowed people to talk, and we are now talking. We should not just talk the positivity of UPND. We should also talk about their failures, so that as we talk about their failures, we also provide some solutions, possible solutions that they can tap and implement. So we are telling UPND, when PF used to increase the fuel, it was there on top of the
I think the internet is being affected there. So anyway, Simon, you can go on. Then we're going to have Moses. Simon, unmute yourself. Then go on.
Oh, sure. Thanks very much. Answering the question, which our colleague has asked, like, what makes, African leaders, in particular Zambia, whenever there's a problem, the first thing which comes in their mind of solving that problem is through the people, through, taxing the people. So now the answer would be, my brother would be, I'd say that most of our leaders lack creativity and innovation. Okay, most of them, not everyone, but most of them. Whenever a problem comes up, instead of using their mind on how they're going to solve the problem, they find it very easy, very, very easy, as in increasing the taxes, so that they solve that problem. Okay. But again, what could have led to that? The point is, most of our politicians are that they're not there. Most of them, they're not there to, to render a good service, to give us a good service, but they are there actually to serve themselves. They are there to reach themselves. Because if at all we had leaders who have got the heart for the people, they get into the office, all what they think is about the people. How are they sleeping? What are they eating? How about tomorrow? How are they going to survive? How are they going to school? The issue to do with, looking at people as a solution to the problems, whatever problem which comes up, that was going to be a thing of the past. Now, as long as we continue to, to have leaders in the offices who think of themselves, who have got just that mind of benefiting themselves, as long as it doesn't directly affect them, they don't care, this will continue happening. That is my answer as in pertaining to the question. But back to the issue of increasing tariff and fuel. I'm seeing it like these guys, or should I say the government, what they're doing is they're trying to create a problem by solving a problem, which doesn't happen like that. Because already the fuel price is already high. Talk of electricity tariffs, they're already high. So there's already a problem there. So instead of looking for the solutions to the problems, they're not trying to add other problems to existing problems, so that they solve whatever problem which they think that we may face in the future. I think that isn't the way. How we should be going about as in sorting out or finding solutions to the problems which we may think that we may face in the future. I don't think so. Maybe let them try, let them sit down, let them find other means and ways on how they're going to solve whatever problems that the country may face or in the future. Thanks very much. Maybe I can leave some other time to others.
Right. Moses, what's your opinion? Then we're going to have Perry.
Thank you. Good evening, panelists. Good evening, Mona. I'll start with having a mine on Lower Zambezi. That one should not be accepted. We are having currently mines. What benefit are we getting from these mines? And if I may ask, is that mine from Lower Zambezi going to change what we are passing through now? Let this question goes to the minister in the parliament. We cannot just rely on the green and economy ministry. This is a concern to every member in the parliament. Regardless from which position somebody is coming from, this concerns every Zambia. We need to protect. This is our country. And on the issue of electricity, I know that electricity is very high. Is it last week? I called the ZESCO customer care trying to ask when I bought electricity worth of 300 somewhere there. Then I wanted to know the units. It is costing like 1 kwacha 95 ingwe, 1 kwacha 87 ingwe, somewhere there, which is very high. The other thing which we should understand is that this ZESCO has got a credit, a huge credit, which us citizen of this country, like me, I don't know how that credit came upon so that it can affect us. So the other thing which is causing this is us citizens. We just see things happening, but we are not organized to speak out. We need to change our mindset, speak out. I do see some videos, whatever, happening in America and other countries. When there are some error, even in South Africa, people protest. That protest shows how people are organized in that country because they intend to protect the future of that country. So this future of this Zambia belongs to us. You panelists here, every Zambian who is listening, maybe is not, we are not able to see him through on that corner, but somehow is a participant here on that corner. We need to come together and do the right thing. When we see something wrong is happening, we need to come up and talk, just like the way we are doing here, even more, because here we might be few, but there are some other Zambians there. Then these leaders, the question which my fellow asked about the burden being put on us Zambians, these leaders we choose, they are selfish leaders. They need to change. They need to have that mandate to know that this Zambia is their home. There is no other home. I have this question. Maybe someone can ask me, who else has built a good house here in Zambia for these people? May I just put it, Petition? Apart from which the house I've seen maybe for this President Hakainde Hichilema, who thought it wise because he has money. He has a lot of money. He has a lot of shares in some international companies and whatever. If he didn't love Zambia, he could have built that houses somewhere outside Zambia. So whatever was happening, he could learn out of this country. Give an example, just like what happened in Congo to Moise Katumbi, when he was threatened too much by former President Joseph Kabila. Things like that. But my encouragement is, let us have the heart of Hakainde Hichilema, who has built a house here in Zambia because he understands that this is my country. So even last time I talked about those people who steal money from us, poor Zambians, and go and hide it in Switzerland, should be somewhere there. Mr. Mpombo can correct me on that one. My concern was that money which they go and bank somewhere outside this country can also improve our economy, can also build up a good Zambia when that money is being banked here in Zambia in our own banks. It can even rate the dollar be reduced. Second, Mr. Mpombo talked about let government introduce, like the mine we are having, gold mine in Mwinirunga. That gold mine, we should be selling it to the Bank of Zambia, like Zanaco and some other banks, so that we gain the dollar. After that, the government is going to have that power to sell outside. Through doing that, we are going to protect and to rebuild our country in a good way. But all these things is happening because wherever we elect a member, he goes there for himself, whatever, what I can say, not looking upon for those people who elected him to go and sell for those people. No, this is very bad. We need to change and improve in this area. I thank you.
Thank you, Brother Moses. So, Brother Perry, give us your quick takes, and then we're going to do our conclusion because we need to wind up. So, Brother Perry, give us your quick take, then, yeah, we'll start closing.
I just wanted to comment on the ZESCO issue. It's a pity that we as Zambians are we've been lied to a lot many times, and we are very, very impatient. So the major problem, as I think I sent a message, the major problem is lack of forecasting. Okay, when Kaunda did his part, I'm not going to blame him. Okay, so starting from Chiluba, people were having babies. As long as we continue having babies, this problem will keep on happening. So the government never forecasted that, well, with the rising population, there will be an increase in the demand of energy. Okay, there will be an increase in the demand of like roads and other amenities. So if you look at most of the power generating plants, most of them, if not 95% of them, they were built by Kaunda. So Chiluba never did, and it never did his part, you know. And then we come to RB never did his part. We come to PF, instead of you know, investing funds into let's say opening up. We have so many water bodies that can be channeled towards electricity generation, but none of that is happening. So the best way right now is for us to find other forms of energy. We can have the turbines. We can have the what are they called? The wind with something, and then there's solar farms. So the government needs to open up this sector to the public and say, okay, whoever has the financial muscle to construct a power generating plant, go ahead, and then we as a country, we are going to buy the power from you. So that's where the start of the problem is. So open up that sector, allow people to create solar farms, and then the country buys that energy from them. This whole problem is going to be solved, because that way the excess energy will be exported for the much needed forex. That's all I wanted to say.
Right. So Emmanuel, give us a quick take. 1 minute, 30 seconds max, and then we all conclude and we close the show. Emmanuel, you can go on.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for me to come in. Although where I am, there is too much noise because I'm watching the game between.
Hello?
Okay. So there's too much noise. We can't hear you. So
it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yes,
that was someone else.
Yes, we know. So anyway, Brother Emmanuel, give us your concluding remarks, and then we start winding it up.
All right. Thank you. Let me talk about the lower Zambezi. I think we need just to be realistic to ourselves as a country. The good example I'm seeing is that and once we start near our natural resources, such as the lower Zambezi, it will affect us because that place will go dry. I had the privilege to go through Lumwana, the Barrick mine in the northwestern province. Believe you me, these guys, before they establish the mine, definitely they visit so many.
Brother Emmanuel, again, the internet is killing us. I don't know, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my internet which is having issues, because a lot of people are having issues. So anyway, Brother Jason, kindly conclude. Give us your concluding remarks with regards to anything that you want to tell us. 2 minutes or less. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I'll start by talking about the increment. Especially, I won't dwell much on the increment of fuel, because the government, I'm sure it has got its own justification because of it being a global concern. But on the increment of power, the government should reconsider that, because you know, this power is not being imported. Actually, we are producing it ourselves, And the other issue I can highlight is the issue of just going straight to these, the guys, the support. Of course, in as much as it has got an adverse effect on the ecosystem, the charcoal burners, let the government be proactive enough, because, you know, when we talk of recovering the economy, it is all about engaging the local people into various sectors of the economy. Let them find a lasting solution for them rather than just throwing them like that. By so doing, you are going to curb a lot of anarchy. Let them find the people who can assist with machinery. Those simple machinery, you know, they can just be making those ones. And people who are called the charcoal burners, they can be benefiting. And coming to the issue of the government actually always trying to shovel the burden on the citizen. It's like Brother Moon and the fellow panelists can agree with me, those who understand the economy, though I don't understand too much. You know, it is like there is no striking balance between the utilization of physical policy and monetary policy. You know, physical policy is so much dwelling on the issue of overtaxing the citizens so that they tackle some of these problems. So they should, as the government, they should ensure that these people we are trying to tax, what are we going to do? Now, this is where monetary policy comes, where they check on the interest of the loans. They look at how are the citizens going to benefit as we are also taxing them. But you know, kulika salary bakuputuleko kulya kulika income tax bagiyemu again kulya baafisanga nafule findu. So what I can say, according to myself, there is no striking balance between these two, actually, between these two instruments that the government uses in order to run the economy. There is no striking balance between fiscal policy and monetary policy. There is too much overuse of fiscal policy in most African countries. I think that's what I can say. So, in order for UPND actually to continue gain the confidence of the people, let them find a lasting solution for everyone actually, especially those in the far corners of Zambia, because you know maybe these guys are there making policies, but if mwena fe Lusaka, but if mwena mkopa belt, they are not considering how are they going to be surviving, transporting about. So because some industry, there are no industries in the villages. So ya kusambira brother muna iya 10 kwacha ika 25 kwacha. So kanshi kusanga for kusamba kanshi adikosafi. So they need to reconsider that, to say, how are we going to help the general population? How are we going to stop these actually the youth to get involved in various vices of life? If possible, from 1.6 million to 25.7 million constituents fund. Now, everyone, even as they are overtaxing the citizens, at least they are benefiting in one way or the other. Thank you so much, Brother Moon and the fellow panelists.
All right. Okay, Brother Jason, have a good night. We're looking forward to having another conversation with you tomorrow. So who's up next? So Simon, give us your concluding remarks. Then we'll pass it over to Moses. Then lastly, Perry. So Simon.
I've just, few words in the conclusion. As they talk of the increment of the electricity tariffs and fuel prices, I think the government of His Excellency Mr. HH, what they should take into consideration or know is that we Zambians have suffered a lot. Okay, we've suffered a lot, and they can't just do this to us. More especially on the time when we thought that, okay, fine, this is not the time to enjoy, it's the time to breathe. Okay, at least now we need we need to shake. I mean, it's a time for relief. That's what we thought. And now what they're trying to do now is, I mean, to hold on, I mean, to our neck again. I mean, they want to close our nose. How are we going to breathe? I mean, at a time when we thought, okay, we need now to rest, it's been too much, okay? Let them just reconsider that. Let them think of that. That no, where the people of Zambia, I mean, where they're coming from, there was too much suffering. I think at least this is the time now. I mean, people of Zambia should at least rest. Thanks very much.
All right. Okay. Have a great night. Hope to see you tomorrow. So Moses, you can give us your concluding remarks.
Political stability has also contributed to our economy. Why I say so, when we compare what has happened or what happens to African politics, it brings fear to some of our own citizens who have got capacity maybe to build a generating power station. I hope they can do. We have got a lot of people with a lot of money. They can invest on that. But what they do fear maybe is the relationship between maybe an example, the current or previous government. If they are not in good terms, they can build today, but tomorrow you find that maybe they have cut off that contract or closed that industry. This has contributed. Then on the issue of increasing the fuel, I think it's a listening government as we speak. All panelists here, all Zambians, they are listening. They will do something good because we can't continue with what we have passed through. We need something which is relieving us. We need to be relieved. We have passed in a difficult circumstances previously. So this government need to at least do something good, which as Zambians we are going to appreciate by the end of the day. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. So, Brother Perry, give us your concluding remarks.
Well, just to put it out there, here in Canada, I used to gas up. I used to buy fuel at close to 85 cents per liter. Right now, it's $1.45. So this is not just happening to Zambia only. So the other thing that we have to consider is that the president said that he inherited empty coffers. So where is the money going to come from? That's another thing that we're supposed to think about. So for me, I'll cut some slack for the president because one, he's become president at the wrong time when people are tired of being lied to, and a lot of people are going to dislike him for what he promised. But again, a promise does not change, but fulfillment of a promise changes. So again, he has to find ways of realigning his budget, so at least again people have to live, so there's certain areas where he can pretty much get some funds and then maybe offer that subsidy towards fuels, because fuel is the economic driver of the country. When fuel is high, everything else goes up, right? So it's going to be a very, very tough reign for him because of the promises that he's made, and
the global economic session.
No, exactly. And we were tired of being lied to. They promised us more money in the pocket, we never had it. And then they promised that the dollar is gonna fall. It's not there. And you see, sometimes we have to be realistic. And for me, I feel for him because he if he's not careful, he's going to be very unpopular because of what he promised the people. But again, let's try to be realistic and give him enough rope to hang himself. Things are going to change, but let's not expect things to change overnight. Thank you.
Right. All right. Have a great night, Brother Perry. Enjoy your work.
All right. Thank you, man. Have a good.
All right. So we are remaining with Italian mafia now. I'm joking. With Brother Oscar. Brother Emmanuel is having some, maybe you're right, Brother Oscar. It's my internet, which is making people trip, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't
think
know.
so.
Okay, it's my fault. It's my fault. So I'll probably fix it. I'll see what's happening with my internet. I'm sorry, my panelists, for making it hard on you. But anyway, give us your concluding remarks and then close the show. Tonight you're closing the show. You can say goodbyes on our behalf.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. It has been really an interesting discussion. Very real discussion and real problems.
Yes. And Brother Oscar, you have a lot of insight and intel with regards to the minerals and Shan, those topics. I think you're very passionate about those. What we need to do is we need to have a dedicated episode with you so that you give us this data. So we should set that up, so we should talk via inbox. Then we can set it up so that you give us the full blueprint.
Yeah. Some information, of course, that I know. I think it's positive to share with fellow Zambians. Mr. Muna, I think what I'll just repeat in conclusion. I'll repeat what I think I have said even before. We need to help also our government in this proposal. We know it's still a proposal. I don't know whether it is already decided, but it's a proposal to increase because prices worldwide will be increased. Right. The question is to find a solution. So I think also it's just my appealing to the Zambians. We need to help. We need to help our government, our newly born government. Tukakenelamba fidabalanda wamuna tukukakelamba. This time, I think it's not going to be a solution just to point hands, to point fingers at each other, to point fingers that is not realizing the promises. All that Zambians should, I think, be, we should understand, we accept is this president is a well-to-do person and is a responsible person. That one, I think, the Zambians would accept. This guy is not. He had no evil intentions. He has good intentions. Which in Simon, it needs time. It needs time to heal. What has been planted. It would need time. The Zambians have no time to wait. It's true. And I think Hakainde Hichilema should just tell the Zambians the truth. Avena Zambia, they will understand, Mr. Muna. If there is a problem, they just explain to the Zambians, and sooner or later, Avena Zambia, never bakashita increase, Avena Zambia bakashita understand. But my appeal is, even if they should not just increase prices, they should also look at the most vulnerable citizens because they are there. We have them. What is the solution for them? Let us not throw them in promiscuity because of the prices increase. The last thing I can say is they invest in gas. Mwalisho wa Angola balikwata this natural gas bamuna. Angola. Because the Italian government imports gas from 2 countries in Africa, Libya and Angola. But what a natural gas. Now, if we are neighbors with Angola, question, well, President Hakainde Hichilema, are you not thinking of this type of investment? Because gas, no kuipikira koba muna. Kuno ku Europe, we are using gas kuipikira. We don't use electricity. We use gas. Because it's cheap. Electricity ikuiwompya kukuli fimbi nomba gasi icon fridge stove fyonse fibomba gas nemyotoka bamuna myotoka kwali beshibompya gas. So I would suggest the president think about this to invest also in gas. We have Angola very close. If you ndako bako Congo bano kubaka inombana pa Angola, let them go to Angola and discuss also Kadiu Kama gas. I think it is going to help. Otherwise, we can just sustain these people. I am sure he doesn't have bad intentions. He has
Actually,
good intentions.
Brother Oscar, probably issue here natural gas. There's actually natural gas around Lake Bangolu somewhere there, and there has been, well, last year and a few years back, right, there has been a Russian company that's interested in exploration of natural gas. It's called Rusneft. So maybe
wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
you should look into it.
Yes, yes.
Actually, northern
My dear, gas, even the Russians, they are very good. Imagine that Russia exports gas, Russia, export gas mu Europe months. Na mu Italy, Russia, bali pange fuma pipelines. If you export gas from Russia, ukuyafika ku Turkey, Palestine, fiangira na mu Europe. Fuma pipelines wapanga. So
right.
If we have in Zambia, please, at least Zambia watambaloreship government, yes, let's go and invest there. This time I think kuka kelamba once.
Along at the body they can utilize crowdfunding. Brother Oscar, I help companies like really raise a lot of money from just collecting money from individuals. And software companies nowadays, they are raising over 1 billion. Like, for example, Telegram, a Russian, I'm sure you know the Telegram app, right? They raised 1.2 billion for an app, $1.2 billion for an app. Now imagine, we've got gold, but we don't utilize it because we don't have investments and we're looking for investors to come through. Why not offer up crowdfunding? You can easily do that. You can easily crowdfund and raise money, utilize the Zambians in the diaspora and would-be investors. People like Floyd Mayweather, they are starting to invest in Ghana and they're looking for investment opportunities. So if there's no money in our coffers, we become innovative. We crowdfund. We utilize a lot of Zambians in the diaspora. They're looking for ways to invest back in Zambia. Give them shares, give them incentives. Not that yo tapadi mpia shanshani ngatapadi mpia tutuazonka. It can be done. It can be done. I've seen a lot of companies raise a lot of money by just utilizing small funds from people. They crowdfund, they give them mama shares, and then you do what you have to do. So we need to get creative, get initiative, and just provide our own solutions. Just like you said, when there's a problem, we provide the solutions. Because load shedding, it has been 20 years. So 20 years we've failed to come up with a solution. 20 years when there's a lot of different alternatives, So we are sick and tired of this. But anyway, Brother Oscar, go on.
Thank you. We will just thank this government. They have accepted, they have allowed the people to talk. When you are talking, people are expressing their ideas and their proposals. The country is going to benefit. One of the weaknesses of the former government was to shut the people down, because when you think that your ideas are genuine and they are only valid ideas. You don't know that somebody else, Akamwa Ichefi from school, can come with innovative ideas and the brilliant ideas to serve the people. So I think one of the things I can really thank Hakainde Hichilema is he is allowing us, even here on this panel, we are very free to criticize. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Muna, our president, and the people who are surrounding him, I think they are going to take advantage of this. What is constructive, helpful, they are going to take, even from here. I'm very much pretty sure about that. So we are happy, at least we can talk, and we are proud. Protesti. Guide abantu, please don't damage things. The people, they protest. The government will gain even when abantu nga balelanda ninshinilesa olelanda wamuna, when people cry, it's God also is crying, and they are looking just for solutions. Efo tuturefu afyako bati abantu nga wamba kwatiri milango nka protest vaya mukutobe fintu. No, but what's a protest which is valid? It helps also abale tutunguluna to really come out with the positive solutions for the future. So naturally, I think our politicians, let's help them think for the future, fight for the future. Let's invest for our Ichabalesa Kunuma. If we have not achieved a lot, but we were egoistic just to achieve on ourselves. Ababa fuminepo aba bali irishe mpia beka fye beka no kufisa washifiso no kubafisa Hakainde Hichilema ngalefwa. I can just go for bilateral talks with other countries because they know you cannot. I cannot hide 2 million in a country. What type of a country is that? I mean, Wali Shiva. They can even know their bilaterals. Mwalanda. Okay, take off here. Okay, bring back 50%. Okay, 50. Let them bring back some small coins for our country. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, so sir, you can say good night to the people.
Now, thank you very much, Zambians. We appreciate, we are grateful. Thanks for all those the Z Corner are passionate listeners and viewers. So please join in the next time. We're coming back tomorrow, probably at the same time, 20 hours. And thank you very much. We greet you. We love you, and good night.